welcome to another day in the Corps. Well, another day on the big U-boat. Right, I thought I'd show you some of the problems that we're having with the pins to set the top and bottom holes together, and just show you what I'm doing to get it kind of all sorted out, and before I sort of glass these pins in, and then once we've done that, we can then shape and tidy up the two halves of the hole. So right, as you can see, I've just roughly lined these up. You can see that where I obviously had two saw marks, obviously, and that's taken away the material, these two holes are not going to match perfectly, so we're going to have to bridge that gap, and we're going to do that with another piece of glass, which another section which is a bulkhead. We're going to glass it in between there, so we can make that up and then fill it around the edges, and that should provide a pretty good sort of seal. Right, you may be asking, and obviously because we've got a bit of a gap there, how thin does that seal line need to be between the two halves? Well, it's nice if it's really thin. The trouble is with that is if it's too thin, it's too close on the two either end. When you try to pull it off, it won't pull off because you're kind of twisting it. And when the boat twists in the heat, which it will do, if you've got too fine a line there, you're not going to be able to get the top off. Really easy. It's going to be a real struggle, and you're going to be twisting it like that, and you might break one of the pins. So you're going to have a little bit of a gap, probably a millimetre or something like that, in order to get it off. Now I know that might seem a little bit big, and you want that really fine line, but remember, you've got to get access to the boat and everything else. So that's the key thing. Don't make it. I mean, obviously the lower line you can have. That'd be nice and straight, and we'll show you what we're going to do with that once we've got these pins in. But the two end ones, for God's sake, don't have them too tight, otherwise you just won't get the lid off. But anyway, we're going to glass these pins in, and then we'll show you what we've done. Right, just showing you two of the pins I've actually put in here, and what I've done is I've put an aluminium tube in here to take the pins, and I've just glassed those in on both sides. And what I recommend is that these tubes are a little bit bigger, obviously, than the pins, otherwise you won't get them in or out. And there's the two other brass angle brackets to take the top of the hole. And what I've done here, as you can see, I've actually drilled out the flange here, and put in the bit of aluminium tube. And it's really set there to be glassed in. Once it's been glassed in, then I can actually just file it off. See, there's the real one. And then on the upper hole, these are the pins, and you can see I've just these are 2mm brass pins, and we just put them in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glass those in, and then hold them into place with a little clamp or something like that. And so at the rear there, ready to be glassed in. Okay, well, I'm not dressed like this because I'm going to do a bit of bank robbing or whatever. I'm still going to do a bit of sanding. I'm just going to show you how that sort of pans out. I've been doing a bit here and there, and trying to get the two holes together really nicely. That's part of it, and now we've got to do the join and all the rest of it. So we're going to show you a little bit of how I'll do that. But if you're going to do this, make sure you either do it outside or have an extractor or something like that. Make sure you wear a mask or something like that, because it is a really messy job. So let's see how we get on. Hi there. As you can see, after all that frenetic work, I've kind of just about finished all the sanding and getting these two holes together. Now I'm pretty much happy, and I'll just show you what we've done with fitting these two holes together. It's taken me 2 days, I think, of sanding and filling and that sort of stuff to get it just about right, get the joins correct, and the two sections of the hole that I want fitted together correctly. So I'll just show you what I've done, and as you probably saw in the last clips, this hole is going to be made into two sections. The first section is going to be here, and this will have the conning tower on. This is what the conning tower kind of look like. That will go on there, and then we have the second section here, which is going to be the bit that you open to show all bits and pieces. Now at the moment I've just put it in with a couple of M4 screws. I'll probably have some plastic bolts here. Show you what it's like. This is what happens when you take this section off. So there we go. That's the first section, and as you can see, that's the first section, and that'll have the ballast tank in, and one of the sort of lunch box which contain the motor and that. And then this section here is the bit which will have the conning tower on, and this will kind of stay in place most of the time. But you know, obviously you'll want to get it off to attend to the various services that you've got in the front box, and that comes off. This is at the moment just screwed on with a couple of M4 wing nuts arrangement, and I had to put a couple of extra pins in here because that didn't work particularly well. Get this off. Now this just lifts up and pulls to one side. As you can see, we've got a couple of brackets on here and a couple of brackets on there, and then on the end here I put a nice aluminium bracket on there to take the bolt through there, and there's another one on the far end there. So that's that. That's pretty much done now. Put that back on. Right. So what we're going to do in the next bit is make the conning tower. So, and what we're going to do with that is we're going to make a mould using this insulation foam, which I just got from the DIY shop. This is a 50mm insulation sheet. I've cut it in half and stuck it together with some clear sealant glue, and it's nice because it's exactly the right width that we want. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to shape this in this sort of shape, and then once it's all nice and shaped, I'm then going to split it in half, glass each half, so you've got two halves of the conning tower, which will be a bit like these conning towers, like that. And then we're going to, once the glass is completely, the fiberglass is completely set, we're then going to hot coat it. That's a similar thing as you said, as I said before, and that you're doing, making a surfboard. And the hot coat will be just some resin with a lot of catalyst in it, and basically it's called hot cut because the resin gets really hot and it goes off in a matter of minutes, and you just apply that to the glass, and that will give you a nice finish on the outside, which then can be rubbed down, and then we'll join the two halves together, and then we'll position it and glass it onto the top part of this. So that's what we're going to be doing next, and hopefully show you how we cut that up. Okay then, so we've now got the two halves of the conning tower, and what I was going to do was going to hot coat either side of them, but what I've decided to do, because there's a few sort of imperfections there, what I'm going to do now is join these two together until they're kind of the right shape and size I'm happy with, so it fits the right plan size of the upper deck. And then I'm going to hot coat it after I've done that. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, that was quick. Right, here we have it. There's the conning tower, which is now joined together. And I've kind of trimmed it up a bit now, so it's kind of sitting there. It's not a final shape yet, so we've got to hot coat this now, so then we can start making it a bit smoother. And then we're going to have to blend it in with some filler and get this nice shape, so it looks part of the whole hull rather than it look like it's just been stuck on the top. So this one's got to be really nicely shaped and blended into the hull. So I'll crack on with that, and we'll see what the results are. Okay, so that kind of concludes this stage, and as you can see, we've got the conning tower installed and all sort of flared in, and I'm pretty happy with that. We've got a couple of cutouts here already for the LEDs, but I haven't yet decided how we're going to progress with all the kit and tools that are going to go on it, but we'll let you into that in the next stage. But basically we've given it a coat of red oxide, and she's now ready for the next stage. So that will be we'll be fixing the X-fins and the prop shaft in the next bit, and obviously the conning tower planes here as well. So we'll catch you in the next stage. See you later.